Guys, welcome back. Traversal ENT here, guys. Now, I want to talk about this fighter quickly because he's made some comments guys, it had me rolling on the floor. The way Jermell Charlo talks, my God, my God, my God. I have to be honest, he's one of my favorite fighters, guys. I find him very entertaining. He's very controversial, and this is Traversal ENT, so we like all the controversies, yeah? He's very good for boxing, guys. But some of the things he says is a bit outlandish. I'll tell you straight away. It's outlandish. Even his brother had to tell him, stop it, because you sound like you're clout chasing. Stop it. Guys, I'm going to read out some of the things that Jermell Charlo said, yeah? Pay attention. He said regarding his division, his weight class, that he's coming back in the ring. Check this out. He says, you're going to see me real soon. I hold it down for all the fighters at 154. I'm the king in mine. I don't care what they say. Then he goes on to say, I could beat anybody at 154, 160, 168. I'm different in the ring. Yeah. I've been beat before. I'm the twin with a loss. I wear that proudly on my back. The guy I lost to, I knocked him out. Typically, Jermell Charlo style, right? But he goes on to say more, and I'm going to edit out the swear words, right? He goes, now what? I got a WBC all over me. I'll F Canelo up. If I'm going to lose, I'm going to go out with a loss to him. Let me lose to someone like Canelo, since you say he's so much better than me. That sentence there, I'll give him credit for. I'll give him credit for. You have to be a soldier to talk like that. If you're gonna lose, you might as well lose to who you're calling, who people are calling the best. You might as well lose to the best if you're gonna lose, right? Put him in the ring with me. I have to salute him on that. But guys, will Canelo fight him? Come on. This is what I mean. His brother done well to stop doing that because it sounds like you're clout chasing. Jermell, listen to Jermell a little bit more. Then he goes, let's see what that's about. Too bad I'm at 154. He ain't coming down this way. I can't go up in weight. Stop asking me to fight 160 fighters and 168 fighters. I can't go up in weight. Guys, that's a fact. He can't. But he's contradicting himself because he said earlier, did you not remember what he said earlier? I could beat anybody at 154, 160, 168. I think what he means, because he doesn't articulate it very well in this bit here, what he means is he could beat those guys if they were in his weight division. But the way he said it is as if he could go up those weight divisions. Yeah, here he's clarifying that he can't fight in those weight. Now he's going to explain to you why not. He says this, yeah? If I go up in weight, I lose my belts. I lose my status. And I work too hard to get it. I ain't fighting Errol Spence. Now he's not Jermell B. He'll talk about one thing, talk about another thing, then bam, he'll chuck in the name like, huh? And then you have to kind of like process it. The thing about Jermell is he speaks so fast, his brain thinks very quick that I think his brain thinks faster than his mouth can articulate what he's thinking. So because he thinks quick, he says things like that and then he chucks names and he confuses you. You got to rethink it. But what he's saying is, clearly you understood the part about him working hard to get everything he's got. He doesn't want to just let that go by moving up and relinquishing the belt. And he's also saying, additionally, stop asking him to fight Spence because he's not going to do that. He just says it in a way that makes you think, huh? Where did Spence come from? But he says more. He goes, what else did he say? Now, this bit here, he's talking about fighting Floyd. But before I get to the Floyd bit, let me say this about Canelo. When Canelo was at 154, even 160, both the Charlo brothers wanted to fight Canelo. I'll give it to the Charlos. Since the earliest time I remember them, they have been calling out Canelo. I quote Jermell Charlo from maybe 2-3 years ago. He said, Cinnamon could have been had the fight. He don't want to fight. Cinnamon could have been had the fight. That he said that about 2-3 years ago, guys. 2 or 3 years ago. That's a long time ago. So they have been wanting the fight with Canelo. Of course they have. And not because they wanted to collect a paycheck. The Charlos do believe that they can beat Canelo if Canelo fights at their weight. But, guys, is that going to happen? No, it's not. So then he ends it by talking about Floyd. He basically tells Floyd should fight him, since Floyd says that he runs things at 150. Floyd was the king at 154. Charlo says he runs 154. Why don't you come back and fight him? But again, he says that, I'll quote him. I'll quote what Charlo says. He goes, My brother told me to stop trying to call out Floyd because he's never going to fight me. And that's a fact. His brother also told him that he's making himself look dumb when he calls out people like that. He's never going to fight anybody. And it does sound like he's clout chasing when he speaks in that way. Look at what he also says about the whole Canelo thing, because he ends it with Canelo. He says, if Canelo was at my weight, I'd knock him the F out. And Mr. Mayweather, if you want that fight again, I'll knock you the F out. Yeah, Jermell Charlo is something else. Listen to this bit. This may have you laughing as well. Listen to this bit. Does Mayweather want to fight again? You say you're the best in the world and you're going to be the greatest ever? You're 40, 36, 38. I don't give a F what your age is. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Now, guys, again, no point going into this too much. Floyd is never going to come back to fight Jermell Charlo. Here's the thing, guys, and I will be honest about this. Even when Floyd was active as a professional fighter, fighting boxers, not fighting YouTubers and influencers, when Floyd was still fighting boxers, even at his prime, this is the honest truth, and I don't like to say this about Floyd, but it's a fact. It is a fact. Floyd didn't normally fight his toughest competitions during their prime. For whatever reason, I don't want to hear the excuses. He didn't want to make the fight. I don't want to hear it. Floyd never took on the toughest challenges during their prime. He always took them when they had skipped a beat, or when they took a beating, or they weren't quite what they once were, or the danger factor had left them. That's when Floyd would come in. Very calculated. And have you not noticed, he does exactly the same thing with his fighter, Gervonta Tank Davis. He does not put Tank in there with guys that want Tank, who are dangerous. He will only do that when he feels Tank has the upper hand. Perfect example is Lomachenko wanted Tank. Yeah? The public wanted to see that fight. What did Floyd say? I'm not putting Tank in there with Lomachenko. Why do you think he said that? Because he did not feel, he wasn't convinced within himself that Tank was ready for that fight. Just goes to show, innit, the sort of fighter Floyd is. And that is who he is. He's very calculated, and he's a shrewd businessman. He understands the business of boxing. He understands longevity. How do you say that word? Longevity? All of that. But I'll leave that at that. Jermell Charlo, shout out to Jermell Charlo. This man, he does make me laugh. But he is good for boxing. As crazy as Jermell can be at times, he is good for boxing, and he's a formidable fighter, guys. Traversal ENT signing out. Peace.